everyone, and welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you gave to the Posty Awards that I posted recently. There was a lot of love and effort that went into that, and I'm so glad you guys loved and enjoyed it. And also, thank you guys for your patience for what was ended up being a very frustrating time with all sorts of tech issues and personal stuff just kind of going on, plus a con, which if I met you at MomoCon, it was an honor and a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. But now we can actually get back to proper podcasting, and I can give you guys the episode that I was hoping to get out on Indie Animation Day. But regardless of when it releases, I think I have quite possibly two of the most talented guests I've been able to bring on this podcast. And I think you're going to love the conversation I have with them today. Today's guests are Weevmo and KMODO, the creative twin terror whose incredible skill sets has led them both to some incredible opportunities while also creating their own with MotleyMotion. These two I got the chance to meet, believe it or not, in the lead up to MomoCon itself, which is ironic because even though we talked about in the episode itself of meeting at MomoCon, we actually never got a chance to meet each other in person. A lot went down that weekend, but regardless, these two were absolutely fantastic to chat with, and I love the conversation, the creativity that they have, and I think it led to a great episode that I know you guys are going to absolutely love. If you enjoy our guests, please make sure you support them with the links down in the description below. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know I see that stuff. You know that stuff genuinely does warm my heart. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out our merch shop at fourthwall.com. We have some outstanding designs that's done by some amazing artists, including our Pride collection, which, believe it or not, is still going to be here after Pride Month ends. Sincerely, Pride and LGBTQ plus rights is something that I truly feel passionate about. That's why I wanted to make sure I gave everyone, or as many people across the spectrum, as many different colorways of the logo that I could possibly give, while also making sure that half the profits for it will go to either the Trans Lifeline or Lambda Literary. So if that's something that intrigues you, if you think you would look fantastic in it today, if you want to help out a wonderful charity or two, check out the link in the description below, fourthwall.com, and shop for your Pride merch today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Thank you both, despite all the chaos that was on with technical issues on my end. Thank you both for taking the time to be here to do this. This is an absolute pleasure, especially getting to dive into your guys' stuff to prepare for the episode today more than anything else.
Yeah, no, it's so cool to have met you and get an opportunity to be a part of this. I've been listening to like your other stuff all week. It's been really fun.
Nice. Okay, I have to be the guy because I have to know more than anything else. Is there any particular episode that like stuck out to you more than anything else? Like any particular favorites from the ones that you listened?
Loved. We watched like the one with the 3 tomes this morning.
Yes.
I like that one because that project always like interests me. I'm always curious about it. So like getting to actually know the creator, and like it's such a not tiny indie cartoon, but like it doesn't have the recognition it actually deserves. So it's kind of like delve into it and
that's partially why we picked like a lot of the ones I've been watching have been like the smaller indie things, because like for me as a very small indie creator, like I really love seeing how other people that are kind of in the same spot are doing things as well.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah.
I did also the Pillow one though. That one was really fun.
That one is one of my personal, like one of my top 3 favorite ones, just because of the energy of Palo. Not even what he talked about, just his energy alone really carried that one.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, you can tell he's used to doing
interviews and I'm so glad you bought the 3 tomes one, because Bree was such a really cool person to chat with or whatnot. Just seeing the love that they have for the 3 tomes. They're also gonna be at MomoCon as well, by the way. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
like magnetic personality. Like I was just like like needs to do more interviews.
Yeah, I was gonna say they and Toonrific Tariq have a panel going on at MomoCon at some point. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
If I can hit it up, I totally will.
No, trust me, I'm planning on it more than anything else, because I want to, if nothing else, I've had both of them on the podcast. I want to say hi to them more than anything else. So.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be busy. All the people you've interviewed, like running around trying to find them all.
Look, MomoCon for me is a networking opportunity in more ways than one. It's connecting with people that I've only had a chance to talk to through a video screen of a computer or whatnot, but it's also going ahead and getting my name out there and potentially planning for people that I could have on the podcast. I mean, MomoCon was how I was able to get Alex Rochon on the podcast in the first place. Like, cause I met him because I met him. I told this story before, but I love telling this story. So it was like the first MomoCon I ever went to. About a few months beforehand, the person I was dating at the time, who's still my good friend, we decided to go to like a local flea market.
Oh, cool.
And as we went there, like we're going through, and I see like the goofiest bootleg Digital Circus merch that I've ever seen. Like it's a plastic figurine one or whatnot. Like Kane looked like he was high on something. Freaking I think Pomni was like a different color palette. Jax was red for some reason. And then there was like a random witch or a mage or whatnot that had nothing to do with the show whatsoever. It's just like one of the figures. And I looked at that and I thought, who in the world would buy this kind of thing? Wait. I'm going to MomoCon. No. There's a lot of people that are working on the Digital Circus. This would be a fun story regardless. So I bought it. $20, by the way, which is way too expensive for something like that.
$20. $20. I've seen that. I thought that they were at like dollar stores or something.
No. You find them at flea markets for people that trying to get a quick buck for, oh my God, Digital Circus. Anyways, I get to MomoCon itself. I go to Lizzie's first because I didn't have cash on me, and Alex, since he's Canadian, he only takes cash for his booth or whatnot.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I didn't know he was Canadian.
Oh, yeah, he is. Trust me, that's something that I learned as well. But I took it to Lizzie, and Lizzie and Alex are like sitting right next to each other. So I go up to Lizzie first, and I'm like, I know you've probably signed a lot of stuff, but I got something that I think you'd be interested in signing. I showed her the merch. And she had the cutest rejection of all time. She looked at it, gasped, and she's like, I don't know if I can sign this. Because
like I don't want to put the seal of approval on that.
Plus Gooseworks was there. Like they didn't have like a dedicated booth or whatnot, but they were there because they were like part of one of the panels that was happening like later on or whatnot. Cool. And so I guess Lizzie just kind of had that guilt at the back of her head being like the creator of this stuff is here and I don't want to endorse like the people mooching off of the property,
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
But Alex was like right there next to her again. And so she's like, Alex, look. Alex looked at it. It was me like, I need to see it. He like took a hold of it, like took a quick photo of it. I got it back and I bought it like a different print. So the next day I go to Alex's booth after I get some cash from the ATM because I did not realize the ATM was upstairs from where MomoCon was happening or whatnot. Like top floor. If you need cash, ATM's gonna be on the top floor.
No.
But anyways, so I go down to Alex's thing, and I'm pretty sure it was like me and my group of buddies. His line was like surprisingly small, like genuinely was. I mean, to be fair, this was 2024, so I think we've only had like 2 episodes of The Amazing Digital Circus. Like it was the wide phenomenon that it was, but it wasn't like what it is now.
Yeah.
But I go up to him and I'm like, look, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm sure you remember this. I pull out the bootleg merch. He gasps and he's like, now I don't know if you can sign it. So I want you to have it. I legitimately gave him like the bootleg merch because he's such a huge fan of the bootleg merch. He was telling me like, I love collecting this stuff, but I've never had one for something that I've actually worked on. So it's like,
that's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, he in his office somewhere, he has the bootleg merch of the Amazing Digital Circus that I got from a random flea market in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Georgia.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I was gonna say his line is probably a lot longer now after episode 8.
Oh no, absolutely. I would not be surprised more than anything else. Like, I mean, but then again, we also got like, for example, Dana Terrence, like a lot of big name actors or what. I mean, it still could be long, but like, it'll certainly be something to see at the end of the day. I'm excited to see how long it's gonna be. And that's what she said. Anyways,
that's the one signature I have to get at Momo because I'm just a huge Kane fan overall.
No. Freaking right behind me, I got that signature right there. I got that thing on me.
That's a gorgeous print too.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. Believe it or not, that print, the art from it was from another guest I previously had on the podcast, Jane Gumball.
Oh, that's so
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it's one I was like, I guess she made the design. He loved it so much that he bought the print for it or whatnot. So yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely. But enough about other guests. We're here for you guys today. I apologize if you hear any background noise on my end. We have 3 dogs that live here. I am the only one in this house, so I can't really. If they start barking, I can't. Yeah, there's not much I can really do. All I can really do is control this square space of a room that I'm in, and even then, sometimes what's in here scares me. Not Clyde though. Clyde's good.
I have an angry dog. I have an angry dog right there, and if somebody dares walk past this window, she might freak out. So I'm just gonna I'm in the same boat. So
understandable. What about you, Weevmo? Is there any random distractions that's gonna be caught in the mic?
Same dog. KMODO's like right back there. So.
Oh, that's right. Fuck, I always forget that. Again, I know I did not realize until you guys turned your camera on. Yeah, you guys basically are twins at this point. Like you guys literally are twins.
Yeah, we're supposed to be identical, but we look a little different.
I can tell the difference, especially with the hairstyle more than anything else.
Yeah. I always do mine a little longer.
There you go. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Get myself a nice little sip of my sparkling ice plus caffeine water.
Oh, I love those.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Actually, would it be okay if I took literally 5 seconds and got some
No, absolutely. Please do.
I just realized my mouth is super dry. Sorry.
No, you're good. Please do. I don't want that to be an issue for this episode.
Okay. Sorry, just I'm gonna run. I'll be right back.
No, you're good. I was gonna say
got coffee and water.
There we go. No, I was gonna say I love these things more than anything else. You know they came out with a couple of new flavors for it. Oh, the background. 3, 2, 1. All right. Wow. I fucked it up already. Let me do that one more time.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. All right, MotleyMotion crew. Before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you both get to go to a desert island on your own accords. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to truly enjoy yourselves for a little bit. With accommodations. I shouldn't say desert island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit.
Sounds heavenly.
And it could be either together or you guys get your each own separate island. That's up to you at this point. To make sure you guys don't go completely insane on this island, you could bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Can it be a video game?
It can absolutely be a video game because I consider that media and art.
Team Fortress 2.
Wow.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I was like, is that both y'all's answer or okay, perfect. Okay. Why is sorry, go on. Go. I was literally going to ask, why is Team Fortress 2 the go-to option for you both?
I literally play it every single day if we can, just one round. It's just been my favorite since we were 14.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. The comedy, the stylization, the antics you can get up to in the game, and
the comics are good, the animations are good, everything's good. It's such a peak series.
It's been a huge inspiration to us overall, but it's also just a really fun time.
I mean, there's a really good reason why it's still probably one of the more top played Steam games out there more than anything else, and it's lasted this long without people being oh, we need a new game or we need that. No, it like we've established with something else earlier, it is peak. You can't really build on top of peak when it comes to that. Bugs,
exactly.
even with the weird stuff that happens in the game, even with the some of the glitches that can happen occasionally and whatnot. It's a welcome part when it comes to that game more than anything else.
Everyone embraces it and even tries to take advantage of it for gameplay purposes.
Yeah.
Plus, you say the animations. The fact that after all these years, people still quote those animations to this day, that's a testament more than anything else.
Because of the heavy stylization that they used, it doesn't look outdated or anything. It still holds up visually pretty well.
Expiration date is still gorgeous. You watch it and it's a little bit limited animation wise, but just it's still really well done. You can't say it looks like it's ancient or anything. It still looks like it could have been made a few years ago.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even then you go online these days and people are quoting it with this is a bucket.
God.
There's more.
No.
I will say, like that one's obviously a great one or whatnot. I will say for me personally, I love the Pyro one. Meet the Pyro. I love that animation on that one.
It's gorgeous.
But regardless, Team Fortress 2, that is your guys' answer. You're locking that in.
Locking that in.
Yeah.
Then if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You look fantastic with the merch that we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guests. They are the creative twin terrors behind MotleyMotion, whose skill sets have led them both to some incredible opportunities, all while trying to create their own, such as the upcoming horror comedy short, Hark! Welcome to the podcast, Weevmo and KMODO!
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very excitable intro.
I tried to make sure I hype the guests as much as I can because, like, especially with the work you guys have been putting out there in one form or fashion, like, y'all deserve a entrance like that and then some, all right? How are you both doing today?
I'm doing great. It's beautiful. It's not, like... I mean, I'm anxious. I'm freaking anxious for this, but like, I'm about to talk about the weather. It's the most boring thing.
You're like landing on default answers.
That's fair. No, I mean, no. I will say, anxiety aside, I really do appreciate you both taking the time to be here today or whatnot. We recently got a chance to know each other because we both are going to be at or all three of us, I should say, are going to be at MomoCon this upcoming, May 21st through the 24th. I'll be there for all 4 days. I'm sure you guys will also be there for all 4 days for the most part.
Yep.
So if you guys get a chance to see them, make sure you say hi. And if you see me, please make sure you say hi because I appreciate the attention. But I've gotten the chance to really know y'all, and I've seen your guys' stuff here and there before, but really getting the chance to dive in your stuff, it makes me excited for today's conversation, especially with, like, whether it be what you guys, again, have done separately or what you guys are doing together with MotleyMotion, especially when it comes to Hark, because I think you guys are really crafting on something that's really fun and unique with that, and I cannot wait to talk about that and then some. But before we talk about the stuff you guys are doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Weevmo and KMODO. What got you both interested in art and animation and music and such in the first place?
Well, we actually kind of started doing a lot of stuff together on KMODO's channel.
Okay.
Way back when in like 2017 or what was it? Our very first thing that we ever did together was a Bendy song, like for Bendy and the Ink Machine.
It was called Horror Show. Basically, I used to just write songs on the piano, and I do things by memory when I play piano.
Oh,
and I had this Bendy song that I made, and I sang it to Weevmo, and Weevmo was like, "You should post it on YouTube." And I was like, "But that's an original. I don't do originals. I just did music box covers at the time."
Okay.
And I posted it, and it ended up like hitting 600K views in a couple of weeks, and I'd never even gotten like 300 views in a day, so it was crazy.
It was kind of the beginning of nerdcore in general, I think.
Yeah.
No, that was like
2017.
No, honestly, that's extremely valid. I am curious though, like, obviously that's a great way what talks about like the start of the career, but I'm wondering about like the before that, like what were some of like the animated stuff or like the music stuff that you guys were interested in before we even got to that point that led you guys down to wanting to do creative stuff?
For me, it was Looney Tunes. 1000%. My very first sketchbook that I got when I was around, I mean, not my first one, but the first one I actually like finished when I was like 11 years old. I used to just pause Looney Tunes cartoons and copy the characters, and my entire first sketchbook was just copies of those characters, which is why like a lot of my art looks the way it does. I think very, very Warner Brothers inspired.
That's incredible to hear more, Nate. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've heard about people trying to do that kind of thing when it comes to the stuff that they like or whatnot. Just make sure you're not trying to sell it online because I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers would sue you to the ground more than anything.
Oh yeah.
And KMODO, what about you? What was some of the early inspirations and early art stuff that you loved and appreciated?
I mean, I'd say WALL-E, like the movie WALL-E when I was a kid was the first, like, it all relied on music. Like, it was so beautiful. Me and Weevmo were like, we were little kids when that movie came out, but we like were obsessed with it. We'd watch it like 6 or 7 times in a day. Sorry. And like it was I don't know. I used to, like I said, I don't read music. Like I've always I played it. So like
Right.
growing up, if there was a movie or something that I was obsessed with, I just memorized the tune and I'd learn how to play it on the piano. So I did that with like Gravity Falls and Over the Garden Wall and stuff like that, and eventually turned into me just making my own songs, and taking inspiration off of the stuff that I really enjoyed listening to and copying.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to say this or whatnot when it comes to like that kind of gift that you have at the end of the day. But like that is kind of a gift if you think about it. Like you hear something and then you're able to play it back like on the piano. Like I have a hard time doing like the Bluey theme on like a little harpsichord or something like that. But you can hear like the Gravity Falls theme or whatnot and just like bass it. And like I'm sure it takes a little time, but like you can play it back on the piano. That's saying something.
The first ones I actually learned, Living Tombstone, the first and second Five Nights at Freddy's Living Tombstone songs were the first things that I learned how to fully play on the piano, like more complicated things, but they were so fun. I used to play them like all the time.
Absolutely. And I love how like even though you guys both had separate kind of art paths in a way with like the animation and the music and whatnot, they did kind of interweave back together with what you guys were talking about with the first little exposure with the horror show Bendy the Ink Machine fan song or whatnot. I'm also curious as well, like even before that, when did YouTube become a thing that you guys became invested in, or just the internet in general became a thing that you guys invested in and help maybe nurture that art path further?
Well, we kind of had a bit of an odd family because we weren't actually allowed to be on the internet until we were like 13.
You know what?
But
valid.
When I was like 11 or 12, I just remember one day I was like, I'm going to work in animation. And I just kind of haven't stopped since. I even built, around that time, I built my own light table. Because a lot of the exposure I had was to, like, 50s animation, Termite Terrace, like, that kind of thing.
Right.
And I figured out how to build my own light table. And the YouTube channel is probably gone, but my first YouTube channel was just paper animation that I would, like, spend time drawing and going through and trying to learn lip syncing, walk cycles, character interactions. Like, it was really bad, but
that was still really cool. That's really cool to hear more than anything else. Cause like, especially at like what, 13 years old, I don't even think I fully grasped what animation was when I was 13 years old. Here you are like building your own light table and like getting stuff done. Even if it isn't like the most high quality stuff, you still did it.
I kind of learned from scratch and from what I could like, since I didn't have the internet, like, and even when I did first have the internet, I didn't know how to use it for the longest time. I would mostly just like listen to tons of really old interviews from the Warner Brothers people and figure things out as I went.
Okay, interesting. And KMODO, for you, when did the internet become a major presence for you when it came to your art journey?
Around the same time. I actually had a DeviantArt account a long time ago where I posted art. I did writing first. Like that was the first thing I ever did. Fanfiction.net and like DeviantArt, I did lots of writing, And I don't know. I actually, with my YouTube channel itself, I learned how to do Blender animation when I was like 14 or 15. So their videos are gone now, but I used to post Blender animations of Minecraft stuff when I was way younger.
That's interesting.
And then my channel transitioned into a music box cover channel, which then transitioned into a nerdcore channel. So,
which is now what we get today with the stuff you get to put on there.
Yeah,
oh,
that was just like I used to watch Minecraft animations, like Slamacow and stuff when I was younger. So that was the inspiration for that.
That's incredible here. I have to ask this right off the bat before we continue with this interview. Does it feel weird to know that you guys basically just ooze creativity and talent with the incredible art that you put out there at the end of the day? Because like, it's like you guys are talking about like some of the stuff you're doing, and that's even before you guys even got to high school more than anything else. Like that's something that like, again, when I was, granted, I didn't grow up in like the most tech friendly places or whatnot. I grew up in Farmville, USA, basically, or whatnot. But like when I was, when I was in 8th grade, I didn't think animation was a possibility for me. I didn't think music production was like a possibility for me. But you guys are like rocking this stuff out like it's nothing. Like that, it's got to be weird to think that like, or at least it's got to feel like somewhat surreal even thinking back on now. Like, wow, we actually were doing this kind of stuff.
Well, is this a bad time to mention that at 9 to 10 years old, before we were allowed to be on the internet, we would film, burn onto DVDs, and sell sock puppet shows to other kids at church for 10 cents?
What?
Yeah.
That is insane.
I have no idea why you would have paid for that. Like, I have no
We
clue.
also got an old-fashioned video camera, like, you know, one of those ones you hold on your shoulders, and we used to make, like, movies. But that was when we were even younger, but we just made movies, basically. Most of them are gone because the tapes rotted out.
Yeah,
but
they were old VHSs.
Right.
They're all gone.
Right. I mean, still good. Where'd you guys grow up? Like freaking suburbs of Hollywood or whatnot? Like that's
No, that was
we moved,
Oklahoma, middle of nowhere,
moved-
Oklahoma.
wow.
Yeah, so we, like, moved around 9 or 10 times when we were kids. So we just went all over the place.
That is insane to hear. When again, like, it's incredible to know that, like, I mean, I imagine with all the traveling or whatnot may have been inspiration for some of the creativity that you guys had. I mean, obviously, whenever you're doing stuff like making and burning DVDs at like 10 years old of sock puppet stuff, which is it's insane to even think about that. I imagine that also was a major thing to kind of lead you guys down the art paths and the art journeys that you've been on. I think I may have gotten a hint of it when we were talking about like when the Bendy song blew up or whatnot, but just in general, when did it for you guys go from just like something that you love and appreciate and love tinkering around with to a passion and truly wanting to make it your career, like something you want to do for like the rest of your life?
I think it's always kind of been something I've wanted to do since I had that. Oh, I'm going to be I'm going to work in animation someday. I just when I was younger, I didn't know exactly like what I wanted to do in it. I just knew I wanted to be part of it.
We've always wanted to make a cartoon. Like it's always been something we've plotted out and tried to figure out. It just never like kind of became a reality to actually pursue until indie animation kicked off, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, we might be able to do this, you know.
Because I've worked in animation, mostly at Magnetic Dreams and Armada LLC. Those are two different companies.
Okay.
I've pitched 3 cartoons in that time that never went anywhere. One to what's the name of it? Was it Hello Cartoons, like Frederator Studios?
Yeah,
Okay.
Frederator.
Okay.
One to Frederator, one to Nickelodeon, and one to Reese Witherspoon.
Reese? Huh? I didn't know she was in the market for cartoons.
She was.
She was, and I got the opportunity through working at Magnetic Dreams Animation. It was basically an initiative to make young girls cartoons, because there wasn't a lot of them at the time.
Right.
But my idea was so freaking weird that they didn't look at it twice.
I mean, I don't think Reese Witherspoon has ever been mentioned on this podcast, let alone like you getting an opportunity. So that's something you can definitely keep in your hat. Yeah, I pitched a cartoon to Reese Witherspoon.
I'm so off base because like the other ones were like these really cutesy, dainty little, you know, like Tea Party-esque ideas, and mine is like, all right, so there's these girls that get like they find this genie that's a duck that lets them make anything they want out of their imaginations, and there's this like I came up with this whole idea in 2 weeks.
It was so freaking
weird,
dude.
It was so weird.
I mean, if I had a genie duck, I would not be complaining more than anything else. I mean, hey, maybe I might be able to get more wishes if I bribe it with enough bread. Just saying, you know?
Exactly. It was such a weird idea. And then I think I pitched to Nickelodeon because they had this thing going where they were going to make 10 original cartoons. And most of those have already come out, which is really cool. Mine was called Intelitech, and it was about, how about we have a superhero and villain show from the perspective of the villain's lackeys, which are all like these robots and stuff like that. And I had a lot of fun making that one up. Again, it didn't really go anywhere. And then
Keep it in our back pocket just in case.
The first one I pitched to Frederator was actually the most helpful one for me because they were really nice about how bad it was. And they actually communicated with me to talk to me about like what I could do differently in the future, which was really good. But that idea was really weird because it was about a rooster who stole a human child and raised it as his own. It was very bizarre.
I mean, look, given the stuff that I kind of see when it comes to your guys' art and like what you're going to be planning on doing, especially when it comes to MotleyMotion or whatnot, like that just seems like par for the course more than anything else. Though if you say, again, like you say it out of context, yeah, I can understand why you say, yeah, it's weird whenever I just say it out loud. I mean, no, but I would be down to watch something as ridiculous and silly as, again, a rooster stealing a human baby and being like, you're mine now.
That's exactly what it was. But once I figured out that the indie scene was going on, you could just make your own thing. I'm like, I'm done pitching cartoons. I'm just gonna try to make my own thing.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it, we'll do it live. I'll do it on my own terms.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
And then I gotta ask KMODO, for you, when did it for you go from like something that you love to just tinker with and have a little fun with to a passion and wanting to make it your career, when, especially when it came down to the music path, and especially now with like the animation path?
So actually that happened in 2023.
Okay.
I made a fan song for Welcome Home called Under the Wool.
Yeah.
And it ended up doing so well that the creator of Welcome Home saw it and commissioned me. And I'd literally never been commissioned before that point
Okay.
in music. And I did some of the music for the 2023 October Halloween release. Like I
Right.
did just a couple of musical bits for that. And, you know, and then I walked away from that. And then since then, I've pretty much gotten nonstop commissions, and enough to be able to somewhat support myself. So it was kind of weird because, you know, that opportunity with Clown was really brief and fleeting, but it impacted my music career to the point where, you know, like I said, almost nonstop commissions. So,
Oh no,
you know.
absolutely. Look, I saw the Welcome Home stuff, and like I was initially wondering like how much of it was like fan song versus like commission stuff or whatnot, because like Welcome Home is one of those like weird anomalies when it comes to like the internet these days or whatnot, to where it's like you either really know all about it or you know nothing about it, but you're so curious that you want to learn more about it or whatnot.
Yeah.
And like Clown has been one of those people that I would love to have on the podcast just to pick at their brain when it comes to like Welcome Home or whatnot. But like
They're very elusive.
I'm sorry, what?
They're
so
elusive.
No, trust me, I've noticed that. I've tried contacting them, and but I mean, to be fair, that keeps up. Yeah, exactly. I would say, to be fair, it keeps up with the wonderful allure that is Welcome Home at the end of the day. Like, I don't blame them for being elusive at the end of the day. But like, especially seeing the fact that like what started off as a fan song led to you actually getting like paid work for it and being a part of that universe or whatnot, like that has to be a weird, fun moment to know that you have a hand in something as legit, alluring and elusive as that.
Oh yeah, no, it's really cool. Like I said, it's gotten me so many other opportunities since then. Like I don't know if you know who the YouTuber. I did mention Rainbot like last week or whatever, but you know they're making cartoons and they've got some pretty cool stuff coming up that I'm working on. That's just really exciting. I think it's gonna just further my own career and stuff. So, you know, it's a snowball opportunity kind of thing. It's been really fun.
No,
to see it develop, you know.
Absolutely. I want to continue down this pipeline, but I actually want to go back a little bit when it comes to the timeline. I want to go back to Weevmo, at least when it comes to like the animation pipeline more than anything else, like especially getting the opportunity to actually work in the industry as well. Like I am curious, obviously I see the love of it beforehand, but what was it about animation in general that made you want to really go down that path in the first place? Like truly devote yourself to that as like, this is where I want to be.
I think it's because I've always wanted to tell stories. Like as far back as I can remember, I've loved to make up characters and stories and things. So there's a lot of different mediums you can do that through, but especially growing up with Looney Tunes kind of being my best friend, that was like something where I'm like, I could take that medium and tell the stories I want to tell. And it's just kind of something that I adore motion, like the art of motion, the art of storyboarding, the art of like using a character's expression, body language, the framing of a scene to say something, you know, even without just making the character say something and stuff. So it's just always been the thing that I've wanted to do personally is tell my stories through animation.
No, absolutely. I think you've done a great job with that and then some. I mean, given some of the weird and unique opportunities that you've been able to get. I mean, we were talking about this in the you know, pre-recording area or whatnot, but for the official interview, you were telling me one of your first opportunities in animation was working with another legacy project with Sesame Street. How did that opportunity even come to you?
Okay, so this is really weird. This actually also encompasses how I accidentally got into animation, like accidentally stumbled into having my first job in animation.
Okay.
So there was a talent show going on.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I don't have any talent except art. So I had never gone in front of people and spoken in front of people before, but I like willed up the oomph to make a demonstration about myself, my art, and this cartoon I was working on at the time, which I never ended up doing anything past some initial concept art, but it was just an idea I was developing at the time. And then I got up, and I was just a kid as well. I was like 16. I got up in front of a bunch of people who, almost everybody else's performances were like dancing and singing, and I stood there with my art up on a screen and just talked about it for like 15 minutes. And then I went on living my life, not thinking about it anymore.
Right.
So one of the girls that was sitting there, her dad worked at an animation studio, and she went and told her dad about me. And a few weeks later, her dad somehow found me and was like, hey, you should apply to be an intern at this animation studio I work at. So I was like, okay. And I applied, and I became an intern, and I got to work with Sesame Street, which was just completely bizarre as an intern. So I mostly, their company did a lot of the 2D stuff for Sesame Street, like the 2D effects, the 2D animation, some of the 3D as well, since there's some 3D shows out there.
Right.
And they would also do Sesame storybooks, which are basically 2D, very roughly 2D animated versions of what the episodes are going to be, so they can throw them in front of kids and see if the message is getting across, if like everything's working before they actually go into filming.
Okay.
But I did also get to see some of the places where they filmed.
Ooh.
I got to meet some of the voice actors. It was all around like a really cool experience. And after I got out of college, they gave me some contract work and jobs there as well, which was I got to do a little more for Sesame Street. I've gotten to do some work for, well, mostly like little kids shows, like this one called Bedtime Defenders by Scentco, the smelly marker people. I got to do character design, asset design, and storyboarding for that one. And Lauren's Kids, which has been going on for like years now as well, and they're based in Florida, and they're basically just a thing to help kids be aware of dangers and stuff like that in their everyday lives, which has been a really cool opportunity as well. But those were some of my first opportunities.
It's weird that, going back to the point that I said earlier when it came to how weird it must feel to know that at a young age you guys were as talented as all get out. Like, what started off there led to an opportunity to get your foot in the door for a career that you've always wanted to be a part of or whatnot, more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got to be like weird and surreal, especially as you're talking about now, to think back like, oh yeah, this is what happened. I got to do this. I did this because of this or whatnot. Like, it's surreal to think about this kind of stuff.
It feels like it was just a big accident, because I really don't know how I would have gotten my foot in the door if I hadn't have gotten up the courage to do the talent show. Like, it's hard to get jobs in there unless you know people, so I just kind of happened to know somebody.
I guess it's literally a situation of just right place, right time more than anything else.
Exactly. Yeah. It really was. Like I said, I really just don't know how I would have gotten that opportunity otherwise.
And like the fact that, again, it was the first stepping stone to what's led to some pretty incredible opportunities, both when it comes to mainstream stuff as well as like the indie stuff that you've been able to have a hand in or whatnot. Like, I'm curious, out of all the experiences that you've been able to have, at least when it comes to the animation aspect, when it comes to helping out other people, is there a particular project or like a particular scene or something that you're like the most proud of since you've gone down this animation path?
Well, this is going to sound weird. My newest job is at Zamination, you know? I do storyboarding for them. See, when I worked in kids television, what I kept getting told is that, well, have fun, get comfy. You're never working in anything but kids television now. So getting this job at Zamination has been like such a breath of fresh air, and being able to do what like I've always actually wanted to do with animation.
Okay.
You were literally about to quit too, dude.
I was. This last December, I finished my last contract with, or I was about to finish my last contract with this other company, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not having fun anymore. I'm not doing what I came here to do. And then, like, suddenly, Zach from Zamination was like, hey, can we give you an interview? Like, would you be open for some storyboarding work? And I was like, I'm not going to get too hopeful, but yes. And I guess the interview went well. All that to say is, Calling All Villains is probably the thing I'm the most proud of. My work on that, and the team is doing an incredible job. And I can't really talk about it that much, but like I'm so excited for that coming out and my hand in it. It's just been everything I've always wanted to do with storyboarding. So yeah.
No, absolutely. I was gonna say, especially with like the possibilities that of fun that could be had with that kind of show of Calling All Villains or whatnot. Because I remember when they announced it, I was like shocked, be like, wait, they're doing that kind of thing. They actually got the ability to work with that character or whatnot, like more than anything else. I mean, because I know they're very close when it comes to Glitch, because they help out when it comes to animation with like the Amazing Digital Circus and some of the other like 3D shows that they got on there or whatnot. But even then, like getting the chance to like have one of the things from Glitch's like, you know, legacy more than anything else and be able to like make its own show from it or whatnot, like that's weird and surreal, and it makes me curious to see what they're gonna do with it more than anything else. And like hearing that, you know, right off the bat for you, it's already a fun experience and you can't wait for people to see it. I think that's just going to bring up a lot of people's excitement when it comes to this thing.
I think so. And like for me, like again, I can't say too much, but like it's up my alley. I'm really excited for everybody to see it.
No, absolutely. And again, that's just with the animation aspect or whatnot. That's not including the stuff that you helped out when it comes to your sister as well with KMODO and some of the incredible stuff that they're doing on their own accords, which I wanted to get back to you finally when it comes to this kind of stuff. So when it comes to like, first off, when it comes to the music aspect as well, it started off with like the music box stuff. First off, what was it about like music box music that made you want to initially like tinker with that in the first place as the way to present yourself?
I mean, I was always drawn to music boxes. Like growing up, I had a bunch that I would purchase and I just listened to them. Actually.
Oh, you got one on you?
No, what? 1 second. When I was very young, actually, I literally just thought of this now because I just looked at it, but I almost died when I was in the hospital when I was like 2 or 3.
Oh.
And this was one of the gifts that I got.
Oh, it's wow.
Like it's very jarring, but this is one of the first things I remember listening to when I was little.
Oh.
So that might have something to do with it. I literally just thought of it as I looked over at it, but yeah. I also was just drawn to music boxes growing up. I'd constantly buy them and, you know, reproduce the sounds and digitally and stuff, and I just love them. I mean, something like ethereal.
No. Trust me, I totally get that. I know for my family, there's a music box that I remember my pawpaw, on my stepmom's side or whatnot. Whenever he passed away, like we got this like little music box or whatnot, and I was always just obsessed with it for some reason, like constantly like rewinding it and playing it to the point where like, because it was in like a little treasure chest that had like little feet on the bottom of it, I would rewind it so much that somehow the feet would snap off of it because it was made of cheap wood more than anything else. But like, no, I totally get like the aesthetic and like the ethereal aspect of it. I think that kind of leans into like kind of the music you make, especially nowadays or whatnot. Like, because I think you can attest to this, that ethereal like thought kind of leads into more like a dream like sense, I guess, when it comes to music. What is it about like the dream like sequences or like a dream core-esque thing that you love to incorporate in your music?
So like, yeah, dreamcore and weirdcore is what I'm leaning into right now. I don't know, like I've always been obsessed with like liminal spaces, liminal type music, you know, just something about like something that just looks beautiful and peaceful and sounds beautiful and peaceful, but there's just this dread underneath it.
Yes.
Like it just feels like being alive, you know, where like you look outside and it's beautiful, but I'm gonna, you know, everyone I know is gonna die one day. You know, like it's the anxiety inside of your head, you know, but then you look outside and everything's just, it's just beautiful, you know, like that's what liminal and dreamcore and weirdcore kind of feels like.
It's literally kind of the vibe of just
la 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 la, everything is perfectly fine.
Oh, the dread shall take over soon.
Literally. No, and I love dark stuff. Like I grew up like the dark I'm trying to like alt stuff, you know, Invader Zim, you know, like stuff I love like horror. I love analog horror. Like I love the beauty in darkness, you know?
I was gonna say, I'm glad you brought up Invader Zim, because for some reason, like obviously the show as a whole is like great more than anything else. But the one episode that I think of more than anything else that gave me the most dread, and it's the silliest episode that I thought of or whatnot, is the one where Zim somehow finds a way to reassign the DNA to where they turn to pieces, or they turn to logs of bologna or whatnot. I don't know why that episode gave me the most dread out of all the episodes in that series more than anything else, because it's like it's so stupid. It's baloney, but it's also like these kids are being transformed, like morphed into something that they can't control more than anything else.
Yeah, but the one where he like was eating their organs like spaghetti. Like,
yeah, that one too.
Or where he like takes that kid's eyes out at the end and gives him like a present box.
Yep.
Yanks his eyeballs out.
Like, it's that wonderful, like, looking at it like it's nice and fun because it's a kid's show, but then like the dread underneath it, like that goes with it more than anything else.
I always thought it was
like he just runs around, says like stupid, like I like waffles, and then there's just something horrific going on in the background,
I'm gonna sing the Doom song. Doom, 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 doom.
Aw. I
Yes.
love Gert.
Oh, we all love Gert more than anything else. I'm glad that you have that kind of love and appreciation for it, because I think that does lean into kind of the song that did kind of put you on the map when it came to YouTube or whatnot with the Bendy and the Ink Machine horror show. Because like that, to be fair, Bendy and the Ink Machine is kind of that I can see how it could have connected with you with the whole entire, like, bright and cheery, but also like very dark undertone when it comes to a game like that. Like, I'm curious. I'm curious where your mind was at when you decided to develop that song, just in general.
I mean, if I can get like slightly serious for a minute.
Absolutely.
My dad was terminally ill at the time.
Oh.
So that's when I wrote that song. I was listening to DA Games and Living Tombstone's Bendy songs and stuff like that. And I was like, I loved the concept of this character that's like Bendy, it was just, everything was just so dark and beautiful, like the aesthetic of Bendy and the Ink Machine. I love that everything's the sepia colors and whatnot. Like it felt like my brain projected onto something, I loved it. So then I was like, oh, I want to try writing my own song, because I've always found that when I'm like going through something, like my first instinct is to like create something, like get something that's in here out, and everything just feels better. So I wrote that song in like one day, when I was feeling it, when I was really feeling it. So,
I mean, and the fact that something that you were really like in your emotions in that moment more than anything else led to possibly opening a lot of doors for both of you, to be blunt, more than anything else, like giving you the opportunity to present yourself to a wider audience or whatnot, having the art that you guys both put out there, like really blow up and get people to love and recognize and want to see more of what you guys got going on at the end of the day. I'm curious if I know obviously with that song in particular is a lot more of a serious situation, but is that like the general process when it comes to like developing songs and such for you when it comes to what you put out there into the world?
Well, most of my songs, like I pay too much attention to the freaking lyrics. I've always been told that, but I like to put I put a piece of myself into every song I write. I figure out what I can relate to, what I feel in the series that I can relate to. Like I wrote Alien Freak 2, which was an Invader Zim song,
right?
And it's in that song, and it's in a lot of my songs, was just this feeling of not being understood, because it's something that I've lived with. I have neurodivergent tendencies, and it feels like nothing you do or say is ever right or properly understood by the people around you, and that frustration and that feeling in one way or another is across the board in most of my songs. Like if I can find a character that I'm like, oh, I understand that, then I pinpoint what I can understand and I try to put it into the song.
Now that you say that out loud, thinking into the songs I've had a chance to listen to from you or whatnot, like I certainly get like a sense of that more than anything else. I think the one that hits me the hardest whenever you say that is the Ribbit song you made, Silly You. More than anything else, like I certainly got that sense of what you were talking about when you made that song.
I was going through it when I wrote that one, so like that, and I wrote it really fast too. But like that one, the lyrics are really dark for a reason. But like again, I like taking that piece of myself and expressing it, because otherwise it just stays in here, No,
absolutely, it does.
So
sorry. No, I can sense again, like I can see how you can really put yourself into something like that, because like I think that's a good essence of what nerdcore even is in the first place. Like for the people that make it, like really putting a thing of themselves into the things that they love, or how they showed like themselves in the things that they love. I mean, look at like you know, Jake Neutron, Kitten Sneeze, McGuire, like the songs that they've been able to put out there or whatnot. Like, but also you can sense like a very personal aspect of them with the songs that they put out there as well. And I can see that, like I said, with like Silly You and some of the other songs you've been able to put out there.
Yeah.
I'm curious as well, given the wide catalog of songs you've been able to put out there at this point over Lord knows how many years at this point. You said at least 2017, which is saying something more than anything else. Do you have a personal favorite song or like a very personal song of yours that's like the top, like this means the most to me?
I'd say, I mean, I have posted like 1 or 2 original songs. I'd say So Sorry is one of my favorite, but it's an original, so it doesn't get that much attention, which is totally fine. But that one was like the biggest, I am just straight up venting songs that I've ever written, you know?
Right.
I'm trying to think, like, I've actually, you know, you say that I've actually only released like 23 songs in my entire.
I mean, even then, that's still a good bit for someone to put out there, especially when it's like nerdcore songs or whatnot. Like, you know, there are some people that hadn't even hit that, and they've probably been doing it for longer. You know.
I know.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say As Above, So Below, my Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared song, is also one of the most personal fan songs that I ever made, because I was also, like, there's been a lot of shit going down in my life, and that one was, like, I literally lost everything, you know, like, and I wrote that song as a vent of my own childhood, basically, you know, and what I felt like had led up to where I was. So that one, like, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, also huge inspiration to me. I freaking love it. It's like, it feels again like it's just in my head, like it's just the way my
Your scratch is right.
Yeah, no, but I understood that feeling of like the character's isolation and not understanding how the world works, and you know, like all of that stuff. So I loved writing As Above, So Below.
Plus, I can imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, Weevmo, you were actually a part of that song aside from actually doing the artwork itself, right?
Oh, was I?
Wait, what is it? Yeah, you did the art.
I was saying,
I
like,
did the art.
I thought you did. I thought you did more past that, or am I just assuming that?
I don't know. Like that's probably the song that I've spent the most time on artistically. I might have done some of the editing and whatnot as well. But I didn't do any of the singing or anything.
Okay, because I remember, at least when it comes to the description, when I remember seeing like, you know, featuring Weevmo or whatnot. But I guess I was just, you know,
I tried to. We had an issue where people started like just thinking we were both the same person, so I tried to start making an effort to go, hey, this person does the art, like I'm not doing the art. You know, try to get it up in people's faces more, because I wanted to be clear we are working together, but like, you know, we both do different things, you know, and who does what.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, I imagine it's a little harder because of the fact that, again, you guys are twins or whatnot. Like, if people look at fast enough, they think you are literally just the same person in 2 different places.
We've had people assume we're like partners.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Or like just friends and stuff. I'm pretty sure like most people don't know we're twins, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know whenever I first met you both, but now, again, like I said, whenever you guys turned on the camera, okay, I see it now. I absolutely see how you guys are twins. Now, I was going to say as well, I will say for me personally, when it comes to, because I took the chance like leading up to this conversation to listen to your songs or whatnot, and I was immediately enamored, especially with like the dreamlike stake of them more than anything else. Like, I feel like there's gonna be at least 1 or 2 nights I'm gonna fall asleep, and that's gonna be the soundtrack that plays like subconsciously more than anything else. But I will say for me personally, my 2 personal favorite ones, one of them is just a straight up cover, and that was your Dark Circus version of Daisy Bell. Like the way that you and Zach did the vocals for that one, and like the haunting, you know, way you did that one. The other one is an Ink in the Bending Machine, or Bendy in the Ink Machine. How did I butcher that up?
Ink in the Bending Machine.
Ink in the Bending Machine. It's just like a taffy machine that they just put ink on or whatnot. But Bendy in the Ink Machine, but it's not horror show. It's actually You Will Believe. I love that song like so much.
I'd love to redo that one, honestly. Like I've considered it, but like, yeah, that was my second one I did. The auto-tune's a little bit rough in it, but that one was my favorite of horror show and You Will Believe. That one was my favorite. And I created it while I was doing dishes and I was freaking bored and I just started singing and I came up with it. So.
Oh my god, you just have the talent. You have probably more talent in your pinky finger than I probably ever can to just whip out something creative like that more than anything else.
crazy you say that, because I think like as an artist, you always like undermine yourself and put yourself down. Because like in my, I'm surrounded by other like nerdcore artists that are just like so incredibly talented, and I feel like I'm almost at the bottom of the barrel, and then you talk like that, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I've done some cool stuff.
You've done some incredible stuff, and especially with like stuff that like just hits you in kind of a flash of lightning. Meanwhile, I've talked to like a couple of other nerdcore artists, and some of them like they take ages trying to crack the song like to be the particular way that they want it to be more than anything else. Like the fact that you can have like, even though you don't have probably as numerous as some do, the fact that whenever you have an idea, you can just work that bad boy out like almost immediately and get it out and get started on really getting it out there or whatnot. That's talent at the end of the day. I don't care what anyone says.
Thank you.
And I was gonna say, especially when it comes to the You Will Believe, I just gotta say this. I'm putting this out there into the world more than anything else. They are making that Bendy and the Ink Machine movie at some point. If they ever need trailer music, You Will Believe would be a perfect trailer song for that. I'm just saying. I think it'd be perfect for
so
it.
Sick. That would be so cool. I should make a cover, like a 2026 version for the movie, honestly. That'd be so cool.
just a remastered version, I guess, or something like that.
A cinematic version.
The cinematic
back
version,
then,
there you go.
I used the worst auto-tuner back then. You can hear it. My voice like goes all over the place. So it'd be so cool to like, with the new like skills I've learned, to redo it,
There you go. There you go. Plus, I gotta imagine like, for you being able to perform this song and get it out there, that's gotta be one thing. Weevmo, I imagine it's gotta be somewhat surreal for you, especially like with you having your hand providing like the visuals that people see for these songs at the end of the day. It's gotta be surreal for you to see like kind of the connection people have with like your art as well, being connected with KMODO's art.
Yeah, well, we kind of noticed like her art does okay on its, or her music does just fine on its own.
Right.
My art does just fine on its own. But when we combine our skills, then like it in general gets a lot more attention. Views, etc., etc. So like, and not only that, but we work well together. We enjoy working together. We have a lot of passion for a lot of the same things and characters. She helps me figure out what I need to do artistically for the songs. I help listening to the songs, and I don't know a lot about music, but like I can kind of give her my thoughts as she's going through the process and stuff like that. And we bounce stuff back and forth to each other like all day. Even with what we're doing now, we make a good team in general.
With Hark, we both do a lot of different things together, so it's it's combining the two together.
Yeah, you guys have a very good blend, like peanut butter and chocolate, more than anything else.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Because she handles most of what you are gonna hear, and I'm gonna handle most of what you see. So like we balance super well.
Yeah, I imagine that good blend of your guys' talents or whatnot leads to some other incredible opportunities, such as you both having a hand with another indie animated project that I've had a chance to get to know and absolutely love more than anything else, The Avarion Show. I'm curious how that opportunity came to you both in the first place. Like, how did you guys even hear about it, and how did you both get a chance to work on it?
I got an email, and it was the most weirdly artistically formatted email, like caught my eye instantly. I get a lot of emails on my KMODO one that's all just like brand deals and hey, and that's how this one sounded. And I opened it up, and it didn't look like anything I'd ever received before. He had everything formatted super weird and super like chill, I guess. Like it didn't. And I answered him, and I was just like, oh, I didn't know you could freaking do this with emails. Like, you've kind of opened my eyes. Yeah, sure, I'll check your project out. Do you want to meet? And we ended up talking, and it was weird because like I kind of struggle to form bonds with people, like again, I'm just socially awkward,
That's fair.
And it was one like Mason, the guy who runs the Avarion show, it's like one of those people where I immediately clicked. Like it felt like he was somebody I knew a long time ago that I was just meeting again. A lot of people say the same thing. And I did a little infomercial for him back then. Got it done in a couple of weeks, and since then he's been periodically hiring me out. I just finished another really big commission that's going to be in the next episode that I'm really excited about too.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And then she kind of shot him my way for needing a thumbnail for a video.
Okay.
And I got to meet him as well and work with him, and that's kind of turned into me doing like he's posted a few things recently, that piece of Cosmo art, the new pieces of Cosmo art that are coming from myself and another really talented graphic design artist that we're also working with Hark, called her online username is SipsRar.
Okay.
But like me and her, we work together to do, because like I'm really good with the sketchy stuff. I'm not so great with the super clean art. It takes me a lot longer to do that.
Fair enough.
So I do the sketchy loveliness and she cleans it up, and that works just fine for me.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy doing character art and stuff. So yeah.
No, I mean, it sounds like really cool. Plus, with what Mason is putting together with the Avarion show, more than anything else, like it's really cool to think that you both get a chance to work with each other to really bring that to reality in one form or fashion, even if it's two completely different aspects of it. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
And we love being a part of it. Like, he's extremely passionate. He's got a little fan base that's really passionate. He's got a story he's really trying to bring home with his own resources. You know, he works his ass off to get this thing in front of people, and it's extremely inspirational.
maybe I should get Mason on the podcast at some point in the near future. Yes, I hear you, audience.
Should.
Yes, I hear you, audience, in the back. It's something I will definitely work on when the time is right. I promise.
You should. He's chill.
That's great. So I'm wondering, when you like with these opportunities that you guys have been able to have, either working with each other or working separately on incredible things or whatnot, you know, whether it be their nerdcore music, animation stuff, Avarion show. When along the way did you guys start to make your own indie animation studio with MotleyMotion?
Well, Motley is something that I personally have always wanted to make. Like, I've always wanted to. I don't know if I'd call it. That's the thing. I don't know whether to actually call it an animation studio or an indie studio, because like I don't want to be that pretentious, you know.
Because we've never posted anything, so we wanted to push it first. Just we're just a group of people having fun until we can see if we can actually do it, and then we might get a little more.
But at this point,
confident
I've sunk so much money into it, and we haven't even gotten to animation yet. I'm starting to be like, maybe I should be a little more like, yeah, this is a studio.
like own up to it. Be like, hey, I put a lot into this thing. This thing is a studio. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to be really loud about the fact that we're very fresh, you know, like I've worked in animation, but I mostly worked in storyboarding. I don't know a lot about the other processes. I'm learning a lot of stuff as I go, and that's why having people like Mason, Avarion, you know, and then I did pitch that other person to you, Hazy, who's doing her own indie
the graveyard shift, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so people like that have done this a lot more, they're kind of helping us learn what we're supposed to be doing.
because they've done it, so we can just be like, hey, can we pick your brain for a minute?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I lost the question.
No, I was gonna say when did basically you guys are answered, but when did MotleyMotion kind of become a thing for you guys to make into other stuff potentially?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we came up with Motley about a year ago, actually, but the pages stayed dormant for a good part of the year.
That's
because
fair.
we're trying to have enough ready to go so that when we started posting, we could just kind of steady roll. And that meant developing one of our ideas into something we actually wanted to pursue.
Right.
Which was High Five first. We have a ton of concept work, a mostly written pilot episode, all that stuff, but we realized it was really complicated. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of moving parts, and we were like, we gotta pursue one of our simpler ideas. So that's where Hark came from, which only has 4 characters, sans the 2 background characters. And it's a shorter, simpler idea overall that we can make a lot of mistakes on. It's super goofy. You know, the characters' limbs are just like lines. Like, we're trying to make it as simple as possible visually, and even with the writing and everything. It's just we're just having fun throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks project, you know?
No, absolutely. I was gonna say, like, I imagine for this first project with MotleyMotion, which we danced around it up at this point, I might as well go ahead and give the proper introduction to it with Hark, the wonderful, horrible, not horrible, horror. I combine the 2 words in here. Horror comedy concept that you guys are putting out there at some point in the future or whatnot. I imagine with this, it's less about like trying to make like your strongest impression and just giving the first impression and be like, hey, this is what we're all about. This is the kind of stuff we want to put out there more than anything else. Like, this is our vibe. If you vibe with it, stick along because we got some other cool stuff we want to get out there more than anything else.
Yep.
So if people may have never even heard about Hark in the first place, first off, how dare you? But secondly, how would you guys describe Hark for someone that may have never heard about this in the first place?
Let's see. Hark is kind of a. It's. Are you talking about like a summary of what it's about?
Yeah, just a general overview of what it's about.
It's a very silly horror comedy, basically about this. I'm putting quotes again. Woman.
Behold a woman.
Behold a woman.
Behold a woman, maybe.
She works at a toy store, and she is basically delusionally wants to be a princess more than anything else in the world. And
No,
she thinks
she's just a cashier.
she's a cashier, but she really wants to be a princess, and she is delusional enough to try to make it happen with her own little clawed hands.
Oh wow. Her own clawed hands.
Yep. Got the little 3-pronged fingers.
How dare you?
I was like, how simple can I make this? I'm gonna do like the stick figure 3-prong hands for everybody.
There you go.
She is basically Invader Zim. Like, even when we did, like, her name's Salmonella. Basically, when we did a casting call, we were like, we want Invader Zim, but like a girl. Like,
Yep. And Aaron Lundquist voices her and does a phenomenal job with her.
Insane job.
Like, we had over 200 auditions for Salmonella, including the extremely talented Fitzy VA, who does, like, Sin from Murder Drones. Like, you know, we had some incredible people.
Right.
But, like, Aaron came along and she was one of the last auditions, and, like, I just looked at KMODO and I'm like, I'm sorry, this is it. This has gotta be it.
It was just, yeah.
She's got that gravel, that grit, she can scream, which I feel so bad making. Like, her entire... We spent, like, an hour recording with her. All the recordings are done at this point. But,
just her screaming.
We just had to make her scream for an hour. Like, I'm so sorry.
Salmonella talks like Invader Zim, where she can't just say, like, hey, please move. It's like, move! You know?
Move, you foul swine!
Yeah, literally.
And then Salmonella has her cohort, her lackey, Cardstock, who is he's kind of a
reporter.
Yeah, he's a reporter, or he wants to be a reporter.
Right.
Again, they both have different things that they really want, so she tries to, like, be like, hey, if you do this for me, then you're gonna get closer to your reporter dreams, stuff like. But of course, like, she's just trying to do things for her own self-interest. She thinks she has, like, this guy who's just, like, basically her guard, the person that she can order around and stuff like that, and he kind of lets people step all over him, so he's happy to be there. Yeah. And the two of them get themselves into a little scenario because they decide to do something very unwise together. So that's basically it.
We're kind of keeping a lot of the story under wraps until we release a trailer, so that's why we're kind of being vague.
No. That is extremely valid more than anything else. I mean, I was going to say, just from, like, the little taste and the little hints of what you guys have been able to put out there in the first place or whatnot, like, I cannot tell you how excited I am to see what you guys are going to be able to put out there. Like, I only got a little taste of it because... initially, Dave Capdeville, who you guys have as the voice of Cardstock or whatnot, posted, like, the casting call, and, like, I've been able to follow you guys through that or whatnot. But, like, even then, just, like, the gremlin nature of the creatures or whatnot, like the simple yet fun expressions that you have when it comes to, like, the storyboards you'll be able to put out there. I think there's only a handful to really pick from, but I will say my favorite moment that I love so far is the little, like, take them away.
Yeah. That one, I don't know, that one blew up just a little bit. We were really surprised. We were like, okay, we guess that was actually funny and it wasn't just in our heads that it was funny.
No, absolutely. That is the gift and the curse that when it comes to animation. You have something funny, but since you work on it over and over and over again and you're stewing on it over and over and over again, you don't know until it drops because you keep questioning yourself, is this actually funny? Or am I just, like, trying to sell myself on how funny this is?
Like, literally yesterday, I looked at Weevmo, I was like, is this thing just really boring and unfunny? And it was like, we will not know until it hits YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to know.
Look,
We hope not.
I'm the same way about the Posty Awards, which by the time this drops either has dropped or is about to drop. But it's like, you know, I've had ideas I've been brewing on when it comes to that thing or whatnot. But until I get it out there, I won't know if they're actually funny or not. I think that's just I think that's just like the creatives in our mind. Cause like, you know, we work on stuff over and over and over again. We see the same thing over and over and over and over again. So like, we know what to expect. Like the audience doesn't know what to expect. So like, we don't know if it'll have the same reaction with them as it will with us. Like I get that mentality.
And at this point, it's like we've spent enough time on it that we're like, oh man, we could have written this so much better. We could have done this so much better. Yeah. But like at this point, we just kind of got to move forward, not worry about it, just make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, we like visual based comedy, so a lot of it we were just like, hey, they make a funny face here, or they do something stupid, and that now we just got to rely on Weevmo to actually make it funny. So.
I mean, oh, sorry, go on.
It's very Looney
So they're
Tunes.
good at it. They're good at it, so it works.
No, I mean, again, from what little taste I've been able to get from Hark or whatnot, like it just leaves me excited to see how much of a silly, fun, yet somehow horrifying romp this is going to be at the end of the day. I mean, like we've already established, you've got a great voice cast behind it. You've got an incredible, like, fun design to go with it to give people like intrigue. Just be like, you know, it's simple yet fun, but also like again with how secretive you guys are being, because you've already said right off the bat it is a horror comedy. We haven't seen any of the horror stuff yet. We've just seen mainly little comedy stuff. I'm interested to see how the horror elements are going to be sprinkled into this thing more than anything else and make it something unique.
Yeah,
Do you know who Leo Vincible is?
Leo Vincible. I can't say I don't think I've ever heard that before.
He's one of our favorite horror artists that we got the opportunity to work with.
Oh,
yeah, he's a concept artist for Hark.
He's a concept artist for Hark.
Okay.
We actually haven't revealed this anywhere yet, but he did design something very special for us that we're really excited to bring to life.
Oh, you tease. Well, I guess
I highly recommend looking into him, though. He's like based artist, like incredible horror artist.
There you go. I'll tell you what, just for the people at home, I'll be sure to have at least one of his socials in the description below. So if you guys want to get an idea of what could potentially be coming for Hark, you can look through Leo's stuff and you can get an idea of what could potentially be in there more than anything else.
Oh yeah.
We've never made anything with horror in it before, so I am afraid that horror is a little intense of a word, but we're trying our best to like have some really spooky moments and stuff like that.
That's fair.
I really do hope some parts are actually startling, but we'll see. Again, I've never made anything like this before, so I really hope that things like come together the way that we'd like them to.
I mean, given the vibe and the inspiration of Invader Zim into this thing as well, like I'm pretty sure people will get probably a proper idea like how much comedy and how much horror is probably going to be in this thing. So
yeah. I do think at the very least the entire what we wanted to go for was just this feeling of unnerving and dread, like even just in the color scheme and the way that people talk and stuff, like Invader Zim. Like I think at the very least, I know we've achieved that just looking through, because we've gotten scene 1 done, which is one of our longest scenes, you know. And then
storyboarded, not done.
No, sorry, yeah, storyboarded. That would be great though.
That'd be nice.
But
so yeah, scene 1's done. It's just the rest of the scenes we gotta take care of. We should be done with that in like what, a week maybe? No,
yeah. There's 4 scenes.
Okay.
Number 1 is locked in for the storyboard, and I'm about 3/4 of the way doing rough boards for scene 2.
Okay.
So I'm doing everything I can to save costs, and since I'm a storyboard artist, I'm doing all the boarding myself, which is taking time, but still, it's good.
Worth it though. It's like their boards are basically like animation. Like I will have to show them eventually. It's just beautiful.
I did actually post a new like mini clip to Motley this morning.
Oh, there you go.
We finally got a little bit of boards with cardstock in it. I was like, yes, I'm posting that immediately.
Well, you're just sitting there like it's like, you know, you're doing all the storyboards like but in the back of your head you're thinking it is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Exactly. Well, it's not only that, but like even with like the 3 tomes, Lumi and the Great Big Galaxy, like things like that, where I've been like, a lot of these they weren't able to get all the way to animation.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, I'm gonna make the boards as clean and animated as possible on the off chance we don't get to go all the way to animation either.
Right.
And not only that, but the way that I want to do animation is so it's going to be as cost effective and friendly as possible, because there's only so much money I can dump into this thing.
Right.
You know, as much as I would love to like go all out. So a lot of the animation is going to be a lot of, we took Smiling Friends as a big inspo.
Okay.
A lot of pose snapping, a lot of just funny little motions that don't take that much to do. Stuff like that, so that it'll be as cost effective as possible and friendly to an indie budget and people who've never done this before in general.
I mean, we did say this was we did say MotleyMotion is a studio. We didn't say it was a AAA studio. Like, there's only so much we can invest into.
Well, we were toying around with the idea of making a Kickstarter at some point, but that, again, if we did, it would be after a trailer is released, so people at least get an idea of, okay, this is what my money would be going towards. 'Cause
Right.
I'm not a big fan of Kickstarters that release and there's nothing in front of the audience to say, hey, like, we've already gone this far, we just need your help for this much, you know, like, I would like to at least show people, you know, what they're contributing to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for me, like, you say that, and the first thing that comes to mind for me is a recent Kickstarter from a recent guest of the podcast, Tunerific Tariq, dropping the Kickstarter for Hey. Like, yeah, which, I mean, like, I'm glad, because, like, with what he has been able to do or whatnot, there's a lot that he was able to fund on his own and get done on his own accord or whatnot when it comes to some of the incredible animation, like the intro being fully animated, like the storyboards,
so
the rough animation, like the full clean animation or whatnot. So there's a lot that was there to present for the people that may be curious or whatnot, but you can also clearly see there's still a long way to go. Why there is the Kickstarter, you know, in the first place, to get to the finish line to what it needs to be. I can understand for you guys, like, you know, again, you want to be able to showcase at least something before you're just like, hey, so we have this idea, let's make it a reality. Like, you want to at least make sure people get an idea of what they're putting their money into at the end of the day.
Yeah. And we're trying to find our marketing as well. We have some ideas for like some videos we want to make just talking about the project and the people working on it and stuff like that. I've been too busy to think about it, but like we want to sort of find our groove with that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think you guys are off to a good start when it comes to the advertising by coming on to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve and getting the name out there.
Yep. I mean, that's just, we're trying to say like yes to as many things as we can at this point, just to start getting used to things and also meet more people in these spaces, because we are shy. We are very shy. And we are trying to get to know people.
Well, I'm telling you right now, like you've definitely taken a good step in the right direction with the podcast, as well as coming to MomoCon this year, because there's going to be a lot of people in the indie animation industry that are going to be there. And trust me, like, it may seem daunting at first, but like, I can at least tell you from my experience, I mean, you can see kind of how outgoing of a person I kind of am, but even then, like, it's really easy to find the people of like the similar mindset or the similar, you know, indie animation space, and really connect with them and like get to learn more about them or whatnot. I mean, a good chunk of them you guys already know a little bit based on some of the groups we've been around or whatnot. Like, for example, I know Corey Beepington's going to be there, and trust me, Corey's going to be a fun person to hang around and just chat with more than anything else. I know my buddy, I don't know if you know them, but my buddy Show Tuesday plans on making the trip down. If you know Tally Ho, which is supposed to be this like, they're the ones that are behind that and such. Travis Fowler, the person behind Dungeon Flippers, they're going to be heading to MomoCon as well.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love Dungeon Flippers.
Oh, I love Dungeon Flippers. I actually got one of the shirts for Dungeon Flippers over there. That's how much I love it more than anything else. Like,
That's so cool.
I mean, freaking, we mentioned it earlier on, but Bree Navikas and Tunerific Tariq as well, like, you know, people behind the Three Tomes, and hey, they're gonna be there, like, presenting, you know, a panel and this stuff. Like, there's a lot of good ways to make connections with a lot of indie animation people. I can promise you guys that more than anything else. So you can get that name out there and maybe get more opportunities to both work with other people, but have opportunities to get your name out there and really, you know, let people know, hey, what we've got going on at MotleyMotion is really cool.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Do you think it would be lame for me to run up to everybody and be like, hey, can you sign this? Like, because I'm bringing a book.
I do that all the time. I literally have like, I have an autograph book that I've had for years at this point, to where it's like any of my friends that I know be like, hey, can you sign this or whatnot? Like, I want to get your signature in here and such. So like, yeah, I it's not lame, because if nothing else, if you do it, then I guess you'll be lame with me, I guess. So at least you won't be lame alone.
Yeah. We can all be lame together.
Exactly. Oh, goodness. And I love how we're talking about like the excitement when it comes to just this project, because again, this isn't even the only project you guys have even thought about doing. We kind of tinkered about it a little bit earlier, but there's this other project that I've been seeing little hints of here and there that I would love to learn more about. What is this concept called High Five that you guys are tinkering with?
High Five. Okay, it's funny because it actually was inspired from us selling sock puppet shows when we were kids. Yeah, we love sock puppets. We love all sorts of puppets.
Right.
Part of that was, she worked on Welcome Home. I worked on
Right.
Sesame Street. Puppets have just kind of been something we've always done. We used to make little popsicle stick puppets when we were kids as well. Like, I don't know, but it's just it's technically a cosmic horror comedy.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Technically, the first episode probably wouldn't lean so much into the cosmic horror, but it would like give hints that it was there, just because we have so much to introduce that by the time we got around to like cutting everything down, it's probably beneficial that we get people to know the characters and the setting and just tidbits of what could happen.
Of course.
Down the line.
Of course. Oh, do we have one of the puppets live in studio?
No, sorry, my computer was about to die.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought you like we were talking about like all the puppets or whatnot. I thought you were about to pull the surprise of like, and here's one of the puppets right now.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Cool.
I do have a puppet sitting right over here, but he's for a different concept. I'll work on down the
Oh,
line.
hey, it's that guy.
It's Nimrod.
It's Nimrod True, right? Nimrod True.
Stu.
Yeah. God, I don't know what, because I remember it rhymed with crew. That's the only thing I remembered with that.
Sweetie. This is a concept I would love to bring to life in the future, but again, it's a complex one, and again, the characters are even more complex, and it's something that probably is in the future. I mean,
even then, the fact that you've at least gotten to this point to where there's an actual puppet for that thing is that glitter inside the mouth?
Yeah.
Who's so fancy? It's like a million tiny little knives to use to bite the stuff.
He's so ugly. This is the first puppet I ever made, so he's got like all sorts of issues, but like I love him.
Yeah. Goodness, I have always wanted to get a puppet for. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or whatnot, but with some of the episodes of the podcast, I use like a little Muppet to like represent myself. It's Mr. Moneybags, as done by the wonderful TipsyJHearts. I've always wanted to get a little puppet or a little Muppet of Mr. Moneybags, just like to have more than anything else. It's something I've just always like. I need to get the opportunity to get the funds for it and like make it a reality. You know,
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, there are people who do make puppets. It's generally kind of an expensive thing.
Exactly,
but, like,
yeah.
It might be worth it down the line.
Oh no, it'll definitely be worth it. It's just a matter of whenever I have the funds in the right moment, I'm not have to worry about paying student loans, paying, car payment, all that kind of stuff. Then I can absolutely go for it. Yeah, all that fun stuff.
KMODO, do you want to say anything else about High Five?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, what exactly, like...
I'm
just a little bit about what it's about.
Yeah, I'm just curious on like what even the concept is in the first place, because like all I have so far is cosmic horror comedy or whatnot.
Okay, so I mean, it's basically these like a bunch of socks. They live in this like society basically that's like just really screwed up. The main character is Merritt, and he's like the town scientist. Doesn't really want to be the town scientist. They all get assigned their careers, based on like different things, And I'm trying to think of like, I don't want to like give away anything because it's so early.
Right.
But the basic thing is they live next to this place called the Underbed, you know, and there's something in the underbed that's trying to come out, So that's and Merritt kicks off the plot basically by releasing that thing in one of his horrible inventions gone wrong,
It's a terrible beast that lives in the underbed. It's actually just like a little cat, just like crawls out and like steals.
I will say one of the biggest things about High Five is going to be kind of like this concept of who's in control. Because when you think about sock puppets,
yeah,
think about other things.
That's right. Yeah, no, you got a good point with that one. No, that honestly just seems like really fun, and I hope you guys do get the opportunity to eventually make that a reality, because it sounds like both really cool but also really silly. Because I mean, on the one hand, literally on the one hand, literally it's a sock puppet. On the other hand, cosmic horror comedy. What lies in the underbed? Who's really in control?
Can I say that if you actually boil the entire plot down, it's Merritt tries to get a high five. Like the whole plot comes down to he wants a high five and no one will give it to him. It's him trying to get a high five. Like,
in their society, a high five is the biggest honor you can get.
Okay.
And he really wants one.
Yeah, I can see
something
why.
Something else might give him a high five, you know?
Yeah, something else.
You know, I could see why a scientist wants that little love and appreciation for the research that they probably do, more or less at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No, that just... Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, a lot of our ideas are completely freaking ridiculous, but like...
But that's...
we're just like, we have fun.
That's the beauty when it comes to this indie space more than anything else. You can let those weird and wild ideas out there into the wild, because we need more weird and wild ideas out there in the wild. I mean, generally that does actually kind of lead me to kind of one more, the next question that I kind of have. Like, obviously you guys are working together when it comes to bringing Hark to life, but I imagine there's more, obviously there's more that you want to bring to life past Hark when it comes to MotleyMotion just as a whole. What is the ultimate end goal, or what do you hope to accomplish with MotleyMotion?
Well, honestly,
I didn't think I'd get this far.
We just wanted to see if we could actually do this thing we've always wanted to do, which was make a cartoon. I don't want to think too far ahead. There are just several things I would love to have the support to continue to make down the line. Another reason I've always wanted to make a cartoon is I love working with other creatives. I'm excited to work with more people, work with animators, work with more voice actors down the line. I have a deep love for this space. I want to be in the space as long as I possibly can be and bring some really cool stuff into it. Because I do love a lot of what I'm seeing in the space, but for me, I was like, there's a lot going on here, and a lot of it is completely freaking amazing. There's nothing that's exactly up my alley. I just want to throw some stuff out there that's like exactly up my alley.
Right.
You know? I guess is it bad to say I don't really have an end goal for Motley? I kind of just made it as an in-between space, so we didn't just post stuff on my channel or on KMODO's, and, you know, there's going to be other people. We have a small team, you know.
Yeah.
I just wanted there to be a nice in-between space, so it's not just all on my channel and stuff like that, not just all on KMODO's.
No, I was gonna say, honestly, like that mentality, and that it's not only just valid, it's something that I also kind of share with this podcast in a way. Like, when I made this podcast, like it was a situation kind of like what you were saying, of like, you know, there's a very specific thing that I want to see, and like no one out there is making it, so like fuck it, I'll be the one to make it and just put it out there. And like
Exactly.
And like, while I do have like some aspirations with like what I'd like to do with the podcast, like I'd love to get to a point where I'm in like an actual studio. I'd like to get to a point where I interview like some of the dream guests that I've always loved to have an opportunity to chat with or whatnot. There's not an ultimate like end thing. Like, if I get up to here or whatnot, I know I've made it. It's one of those, like, this is just a fun thing that I love to do, and I'd love to just, you know, go on this ride as long as I can, just enjoying the fun that I can and putting out the stuff that I want to see out there in the world.
Exactly, and I think that's kind of the best way to go into this space, honestly. I don't know. I feel like there's at least some people that kind of come into the space wanting to be like the next Glitch.
Yep.
And I don't know. For me, I just want to make a thing. I just want to have fun with other people that like making things and make a thing, and I'm not going to worry about being the next big thing. I'm passionate about telling a story, and I'm passionate about animation, and I'm just going to make that happen whether or not anybody sees it. Like, you know, if it speaks to one person, I'll be happy, basically. You know, I don't really need anything more than that.
Absolutely. I was going to say,
my mentality with like my music too, where it's like, as long as 100 people watch it and like it, like, you've done your job.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I was gonna say, like, literally, like, that's a good mentality to have, just when it comes to this content creation space in the first place, or just the creative space in general, more than anything else. Like, yeah, you can try as hard as you can, and you could try to be the next, you know, you could try to be the next, you know, Justin Bieber or whatnot, who like makes it big on the internet and gets a point to where they get a recording deal, or you can try as hard as you can to be the next Markiplier or this, that. they all started with just posting stuff online and just having fun at the end of the day. Everything else is just kind of, cherry on the, whipped cream on top,
Yeah. And trying to be the next glitch isn't like a bad thing. It's just like, I'm not trying to do all that. I just want to make a silly, stupid thing.
There's clearly a lot more work that goes into that, when at this point all you're just focused on is just, let me put the stuff I want out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to be a showrunner, I'm not really interested in like heading a business. I just want to be a showrunner.
No, absolutely. So, I was gonna say, KMODO, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add when it came to just what you hope to see with MotleyMotion, or if it's generally the same sentiment as Weevmo has.
I mean, like, if I had to like dream my dream, best case scenario, I would love to have enough success in what we release to have the finances to get a team together. I think
that's kind of what I said, though. Like, it would be nice to have the support to do more after Hark.
Yeah.
But
to be able to, help other people, and be able to pay them fairly, because that's freaking important in this space,
Absolutely.
Yeah, like get other people kickstarted into it, and to have a team of people to like, oh, we need this. Oh, can you, this person would be great for that, and we got this person on the, it would be so much fun to just have a collective,
No, absolutely. And I mean, like, that's even just with what you guys are doing nowadays when it comes to this incredible like concept and this fun little connection that you guys have. But like, even taking a step back, thinking about just like your art journey as a whole, like from when you guys were super young, being the talented little kids that you were, doing stuff that people could only dream about doing, in their 30s or whatnot, to here you are right now, taking the opportunity to work with each other to really bring forth this incredible fun visions, multiple ones at this point or whatnot. Does it amaze you, or is it kind of surreal to think how far you both have come along as artists?
It really does for me. It's kind of been bizarre because a lot of the stuff a lot of the opportunities meeting people and stuff I've only had the last couple of years. Before then, I was kind of a recluse myself.
We hid from everybody.
So, like, I don't know. I finally got brave enough to like post things that I wanted to post, to get to know people I really wanted to get to know, and all this other stuff, and it just feels like more and more doors open. It's a little surreal, but like it's so. I love it. I just love it so much, and it is really cool how far I've come, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I would have never like thought that I'd get the opportunity to like write a song with Dave Capdeville and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, or even just have him as our main character, you know?
Yeah.
When we casted for Cardstock, one of the very first top inspiration was Hunas Boogie from Ghost of the Year, because that's how we knew Dave.
Right.
Like, I've been following him for years, but like also Hunas Boogie was one of my favorite characters.
That's fair.
And then we hired him to write on Hark. He helped with the script. Okay. And he was like, I'm going to audition, and we're like, okay. So yeah, that was really cool.
No, I can imagine. Again, I've had a chance to be good buddies with him. I've had him on the podcast a good couple times, as well as a random episode of Google Trendy as well. The little fun little game show I do on the side or whatnot. But like, he's always been like a really cool person just to chat with at the end of the day. And so like, to have him not only help you guys out with the writing, which I know he's passionate about, but also provide life for a fun character like Cardstock or whatnot. Like that, it goes back to, again, like just the art journey as a whole, like especially when you talk about being a huge fan of his, from the Ghost of the Year video or whatnot. Like, yeah, it's surreal. It's weird, more or less, that this is the reality that you're in right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've been following him for years. I never would have guessed that I could have even rubbed elbows with him. Actually, it was Mason that got us in contact for because we were looking for someone to help like sharpen our script up, and that's what he did with Hark. Was he punched the script up, so he kind of made it more concise. Right. Helped with like weird wording and stuff like that.
He helped us with the ending. Like, he gave an idea for an ending that was like peak.
Perfect. So, and I got in contact with him through that, and like it was funny. We had like a writing meeting. I think that was supposed to be 30 minutes long, and ended up being 2 hours because we all just yapped.
That seems about right. That seems about right.
super fun and chill dude to talk to.
Nope. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, again, that's just what you guys have been able to do so far when it comes to this incredible art journey. But for this next question, if I may, what if we go a little above and beyond, if I may, and I give you both the dream scenario? let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybag, specifically the Muppet version that I was talking about earlier, potentially making reality. I come to you and like, look, Motley, we love what you both are doing. KMODO, the music that you're doing is absolutely stunning. Weevmo, the animation, we cannot get enough of it, and we want to see so much more. We just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you guys up to that point. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be giving back to some of the animators, make sure that they have like a good living wage, be able to afford insurance and like a good living wage and all that kind of stuff. But, hashtag stay with animation forever and always. That's part of the deal. We can promise that one. That's going to be part of it more than anything else. Right now, we're focusing on you and you alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream MotleyMotion project?
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, Weevmo. Mine would have to be Jelly Bean.
Yeah,
Jelly Bean.
probably Jelly Bean.
Yeah, it's an animated analog horror project that I'm starting to work on.
Yeah.
So it's like a cartoon and analog horror mixed together.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Like more than anything else.
Completely in liminal spaces. Like it's got all the stuff that I like put into it, but it's one of those like far beyond projects that's in my mind. But if I could hire animators for it, have like a whole, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's another, like, for me, it probably would be Corduroy Stew, given that thing is going to be a lot more expensive to animate and work with, where, like, Nimrod comes from and everything.
Okay.
I honestly, I would love, if I could, I would make it 3D. I don't think it can be 3D. Just so I could get, like, the actual puppet textures and everything correct and make it look like, because, like, my inspiration was, like, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the Muppets and stuff like that. This world where, like, humans and puppets kind of rub elbows a little bit, but, like, a little more serious, I guess.
No, absolutely.
I don't know. If I could make it, like, just look like, like, do 3D puppets alongside, like, actual human actors and everything, like, it would be so incredible. I would love that.
I mean, I think it's absolutely possible, especially when it comes to, like, getting the 3D and the textures more than anything else. I mean, if you see people like Kevin Timmer, who's one of the lead animators for Glitch or whatnot, seeing what he's been able to do seeing what he's been able to do with like textures and stuff like that, like I think it's entirely possible to get like a 3D animated thing alongside humans, just interacting and such.
Yeah. No, I would adore that. I don't think it's something that could ever come out in 3D, but like that would be the dream.
This is dreaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Dreaming scenario.
Like I said, access to everyone and anything. We can make this thing possible. We promise. All right?
I mean, to be honest, I'd probably do the same. Like, I call it Jelly Bean. I don't actually have a title for it.
Okay.
Like, it could be called other things, but if I said that other thing, I just don't want anything to be known about it really yet.
Okay.
But like the same thing where I probably would have real humans and then animation for the entities, So that would be, if I had budget and like you could hire out anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep. just guarantee me for that one in particular. I don't know why this is a specific vision that I have, but we need again, access to everyone and anything. If we're gonna have an analog horror like that, to where it's real life people interacting with 3D objects, stuff like that, we have to make sure Christopher Walken is in an episode. I can just imagine him interacting with like some sort of entity and whatnot. Be like, what is that?
That would be perfect. I didn't even think about actors, but that would be so much fun to like go through and just be like, oh yeah, they'd be perfect.
Exactly.
We could steal them.
Exactly. But sadly, we have to get down from the dream scenario. We have to get back to reality. And I'll ask the ever so generic question. Where do you guys hope to see yourselves, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Oh,
I didn't think I'd get this far. Okay.
Always.
Man, I don't know. I would love to still be working in the industry. Like I think the dream for every creator, it's very rare. You got to be a little realistic about it. It's very rare that you can continue making projects at scale. I would love to still be making projects in any way, shape, or form I possibly could, though. Hopefully still working in storyboarding or working something art adjacent, you kind of jump around a lot with those sorts of things. So you always got to be grateful for what you've got. I don't know. I'd really love to still be creating things, maybe being able to direct something. I really want to be a director someday. So yeah, for me.
Absolutely. And KMODO, for you?
I'd say, like, I don't really want to be a director, but, like, first of all, I would love to be posting more on my YouTube channel because I overthink, and that's why there's not much on there, because I've got so many songs, and it's just like, no, that one's not good enough, so you just don't. So I'd like to just stop overthinking and post more, and I'm trying to get into being a writer, like, right now.
Right.
Writing the script for Hark, like, kind of put the fire in my heart for
There
it,
you
know?
go.
So... And I've always been a writer, but just not for scripts and stuff. So, I've been starting to apply to different things to, try to get my foot in the door. And, in the future, I'd like to be on, like, a decent project for writing. Like, that's one of my goals,
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I can imagine.
Also for Motley to still be alive and us to be making cool things. And
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
I could tell from what you guys want to do more than anything else. I don't think Motley's going away anytime soon. I think that's gonna linger around for a little bit,
Yeah,
I hope so.
or if it's not still here, is evolved into something else like Motley Productions or Motley Society or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
No, I think Motley, like, the logo itself is one of the favorites that I've ever made. So I was just yes, I had a brain peak moment just for this,
Yeah, and yeah, I've always wanted to name something Motley because, like, I just love the word so much. It just means, like, a bunch of weirdness coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why, in our lexicon, there is the term Motley Crew, and it's not just because the band was really successful for it. There's a reason why it's lingered as long as it has. As we start, exactly. As we start to wind down the interview, I just got one last question I want to ask you both. Obviously, you are both deeply entrenched in art. I mean, again, like I've emphasized before, you guys have had art basically in your blood since basically you were born at this point, given how talented and incredible you guys have been throughout this entire art journey that you've both been on. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
I mean, that's a very important question, especially with all the, like, dumbass AI stuff going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like art is extremely important to people, even if they don't realize it. I got a lot of people around me who do not appreciate it as much, or, like, AI is a good substitute.
Use AI and, like, all that, like, people in our family and stuff that are against artists,
Right.
I think it's more important now than ever to make something with your hands and to show it to other people, if not just to connect to other people who don't feel like they want to use AI, then for the younger generation coming in that hopefully can realize that making something with your hands is better than just generating something. Like, you get this, you feel fulfilled making your own things. It's extremely important to be creative in any way you possibly can be, and
especially if you, like, fuck it up and then you try again and you get it, or you try 3 times and you get it. Like, that is one of the most fulfilling feelings you can have,
Absolutely.
Like, just immediately getting something. Like, I will admit, when AI first came out and I didn't understand what it was about, I used it a few times. I actively noticed my brain power going down, and that's when I stopped using it, because I suddenly was like, it's starting to, like, be like a baby. Like, you don't know what you're doing for yourself, And, like, just it's a monster. Like, it's disguised as so many things that it's not.
I mean, and true art is kind of the antithesis of AI. It's just putting a crazy amount of effort, work, brain power, your soul, yourself into something to output to the world. I don't know. It's extremely important.
I don't think I'd be alive without art, and I think a lot of people share that sentiment too. There's nothing, if there's no art, there's nothing to live for. Like, it's everything to some of us. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself.
Yay.
That is all the questions I have for you both today. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise up to this point, but I'm gonna shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. Look, ever since I first got a chance to chat with you guys in the random MomoCon creator server that we're all a part of or whatnot, I have just been really excited to see more about what you guys got going on, more or less. Like even if there wasn't the promise of the interview like we had or whatnot, I was just excited to see what you guys had and really indulge myself into that kind of stuff. Getting the chance to really do that, especially in preparation for this podcast or whatnot, like I got more and more excited because I was loving more and more. I was getting like the general vibe and really appreciating what you guys were putting out there in one form or fashion, whether it be, like I said, the music that you put out there, KMODO, that could honestly be a soundtrack for a dream that I could potentially have, or Weevmo with the incredible silly drawings or fun animations with the concepts that you're putting out there into the world. Getting the chance to sit down with you both right now and realize just how much you guys love and how important this art thing is for you. Because in fact, it's been a part of your life since day one, essentially. And you guys have, to put it bluntly, been damn good at it. At the end of the day, like it's really impressive, and it gives me a new level of love and respect for what you guys do. And it just gives me a new level of excitement to see what you guys are going to be putting out there at the end of the day. Because I want to see what you guys are going to be doing with Hark. I want to see High Five get created. I want to see Jelly Beans. I want to see Corduroy Steve. I want to see all that stuff brought to life, because if it's as wild and weird and silly and fun and scary as you guys want it to be or whatnot, it's going to be a blast every single time I watch it, no matter what. The long and the short of it is, sincerely, thank you guys for what you do. Thank you for putting yourselves out there like you have, because I know it's not easy in the first place. Like, especially like, you know, KMODO, you said earlier, like you really put a lot of yourself into these songs that you put out there into the world. I can understand like how that could be very soul bearing at times. And Weevmo, I can imagine, especially helping KMODO out with this stuff, but also like with the animations on your own, there's a lot of yourself you put into that art to really get that message across. Like, again, whether it be helping your sister out, or putting this vision that you have to life when it comes to Hark, or all these silly ideas that you want to bring out there into the world. It's not easy, but the fact that you both are doing it, it just leaves me literally excited to the point to where like I cannot wait for you guys to get something out there. So thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you. And if I can say, like, I really wanted to be part of this podcast because I really, really adore and love what you're doing as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that you kind of give a voice to everyone, big and small, you know, and
Treat them equally.
You treat them equally. You're super passionate. You're super fun to talk to. And it's really nice having a podcast out there that is for the indie space and for creatives in general, and is run by somebody that appreciates it. Because, you know, a podcast is within an art of itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So thank you so much for having us, because, like, I love what you're doing.
Talking to you is like a warm drink on a cold day. It's really nice.
That is quite possibly like the night, like combined, but especially that last line. That's probably the nicest compliment I've ever gotten on this podcast. Sincerely, a warm drink on a cold day. That I'm taking that to heart. That's gonna be on like advertisements for the future reference or whatnot. Like listening to the podcast is like a warm drink on a cold day. Like normally I'm very bashful and be like, oh, you guys don't gotta butter me up. We've already got through the episode or whatnot. But that was genuinely good.
You got him, KMODO. Good job.
I mean, I wrote poetry a lot, so like
It's like you're a writer.
I like
you get
to
it.
try. I mean, I like to try and tell people how I actually feel about them, but like there's always a really interesting way to say it, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, like genuinely, like I really do take to heart what you both have said, because like, you know, I appreciate, you know, I am a huge fan of this stuff. I am a huge fan of the art that I bring on here and have people talk about. And I really want to showcase that love and support for everyone, no matter how big and small they are. So the fact that you both recognize that and appreciate that, like it genuinely does mean a lot. Thank you both for the kind words, really.
No
worries at all.
I'm so happy to have been here.
No, absolutely. Now, if people want to know why exactly we have been gushing with each other for all this stuff for probably 2 hours at this point, or however long we've been recording, go ahead and plug your stuff for the people at home. Where can people find more about what you guys and what you got going on?
Well, we've got MotleyMotion on X and Blue Sky, but then for me personally, I post a lot about Motley stuff on my Instagram. I've got a YouTube, I've got an X, I've got a Blue Sky, an art station for my portfolio, and then KMODO.
Just my YouTube channel, KMODO. You can find me on all platforms, but I've got slight variations of KMODO on all platforms, but just mostly YouTube, just KMODO. That's it.
There you go.
Yep.
And I'll be sure to have those links and then some in the description below so people can go there and find all the incredible stuff and showcase that love and support like I have today. And also, I just thought about this now. I should have asked this a little bit earlier. You gave me an answer for at least the studio name, MotleyMotion. You guys like that because of the name. Where did the name KMODO and Weevmo come from, if I may ask?
Oh no, Weevmo, you go first.
Well, you see, in 2011,
Okay.
me and my siblings had Club Weevmo, and it was because we were huge Wally fanatics. So it
Okay.
actually is a combination of Wally, Eve, and Mo, the three main characters.
Oh, that's actually
Yeah,
kind
so
of sweet.
each of us,
But it was also
kind of pretended
because
to be
I
all of
was
them.
I was Wally, she was Eve, and then our little brother was Mo, and we had our club and stuff like that. But like to me, it's more than just the movie. It was about like this club we had.
Right.
So I just wanted to kind of it kind of plugs back to like what made me really passionate about animation in the first place, and the sibling bond and stuff like that. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then KMODO.
Mine's dumb as shit. I loved KMODO dragons. I was obsessed with KMODO dragons.
Sometimes it's just as simple as we love what we love, and that's what we made our name. All right.
My YouTube channel actually used to be called KMODO Chords, but then
Right.
CG5 suggested I change it to KMODO, so it's just stuck like that ever since.
I mean, hey, it's an easy name to remember. I'll give it that one. I mean, if there's anyone to listen to when it comes to that, CG5 is probably a good person to listen to when it comes to like nerdcore artists and their names on the internet, because I don't think it's hard to forget a name like CG5,
Nope.
Do you both have any final words before we sign off?
I don't know. I'm a little... No, sorry. I'm rocking as frick. I'm getting socially exhausted, but like I'm having so much fun.
I understand. I apologize, but also I'm glad I appreciate you.
No, it's good. This has been really fun. I don't really have any parting words though. Besides, this has been fun.
Yeah, no, I've never done an interview, but I didn't think it would be this easy. Like this is it's easy and fun.
Yep.
I'm just saying, I'll just take that as a compliment of how good of a host I am, just because I try to.
You should.
I always try to let people know, like, before we get started recording or whatnot, like, to not think of this like an intense, like, 2020 interview or anything like that. Be like, where were you on the night of December 21st, 2022 or something like that? No, like, this is supposed to be like a nice, calm, cool, casual conversation. And hopefully you guys have felt that way, especially as we close out here. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been good.
Thank
Easy,
you.
Fun. Good job.
Exactly.
No notes.
No notes. Perfect. With that, all I have left to say is for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
Tell me what's wrong, tell me it's parts in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can all open. Show me it all, put me up in the car, you go when you used to call. Show me it all.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I love and appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, the twin terrors, the creative twin terrors I have with these two. It was seriously a pleasure to get a chance to talk with them. Weevmo, KMODO, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you so much for taking the time to get up to be a part of this in the first place. You two are seriously doing some incredible stuff just in general, and I'm excited to see what you guys have going forward. And I'm so sorry for not seeing you guys at MomoCon. That's something that I feel bad about. There was a lot of people I wanted to see at MomoCon. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was a good couple people that I hadn't had a chance to like meet in person. I mean, there was a good group of them that it was my first time getting a chance to see them in person. It was an absolute blast and a pleasure. On top of that, just like with some of the guests, like for example, I've had Dave on the podcast on at least 3 different occasions, and the chance to actually get a chance to see him in person was like really surreal, and I'm so glad I got a chance to do that. So many artists that I got a chance to even meet that I've only gotten a chance to talk with online, and so many incredible people. I know it was only for a brief moment, but if you're listening out there, Sold Official YT or whatnot, for those who don't know, which I assume most of you probably know, but like, he's doing fantastic work when it comes to amplifying animation voices, especially indie animation voices. Getting the chance to see him in person, even for a brief second, was like really surreal. It was really kind of cool, more than anything else. Getting the chance to meet so many people that I need to put on my radar, or people that I've loved and admired for years, and getting the chance to actually like meet them in person. It was so surreal. It was incredible, more than anything else. And I'm so glad I got the opportunity at the end of the day. I sincerely hope that you guys will soon see the fruits of the labor that was MomoCon. But even then, you know, even past that, just, it was genuinely incredible to meet so many wonderful people. And it's a further affirmation of just how weird and wonderful this whole entire podcast journey has been ever since I've dedicated myself to this at the end of the day. I hope you guys get the chance, for whatever you're creating, whatever you're putting out there, I hope you guys get the chance to really get to interact with the people that truly love and appreciate what you're doing. Or get a chance to really introduce the people that you might not have had a chance to talk to otherwise. I always get that especially with MomoCon, it always hits me in a new surreal kind of way of like the people that I've had a chance to talk with, you know, online, and several conversations over and over again, to actually see them in person. It's always kind of weird and surreal. I mean, one of the earlier guests that I've had on the podcast or whatnot, freaking Sartees, did not expect them. I did not expect Evan to be there until like a day or two before the con. And so getting the chance to see him in person, it was surreal. It was really cool. But just in general, back to my original point, seriously, I hope that you guys are able to create something incredible. And I hope you guys get a chance to meet the people that are truly touched and inspired by it, because you guys absolutely deserve it at the end of the day.